Moving on to retail, Super Bowl for shoppers is officially here. The holiday shopping season. Millennials are 34% more likely to say that they'll spend more than last year compared with Gen Xers and baby boomers. This is according to NerdWallet. Joining me now is our millennial panel, Executive Director at Generation Opportunity, Carrie Sheffield, attorney, Christi Kunzig, and Ackman Ziff Real Estate Group Managing Director, former Trump surrogate, Jason Meister. Carrie, I start with you. Talk about shopping today. How do you view Black Friday? Are you going to be doing some shopping and looking for some deals?
I probably will. I think I'll probably especially do it online, which is something that NerdWallet was reporting on, and how a lot of millennials are not wanting to go in physical stores, which is, not like their older peers. But I think that a lot of younger millennials are starting to see an improvement in terms of the economy. We're seeing the stock market rising, so there's consumer confidence is coming back. So I think millennials saying they're wanting to spend more this holiday season is a reflection of that.
Does the stock market really make younger people feel better, or millennials? Because you do see a lot of research that millennials are aggressively contributing to 401k accounts when they get jobs. And how does that translate into shopping today, Christi?
I don't know that millennials are so concerned with how well the stock market is doing, since we're trying to typically stay out of it. I think we're getting more settled in our careers, our jobs. We're used to having a little bit of money, so we're going to put that towards shopping for the holiday season right now. And I do agree that we are staying out of the stores. We're more immersed in the internet, and we're going to do our shopping that way.
So that explains why every young person I saw photographs of on Instagram was on their phone during Thanksgiving dinner, shopping, either texting or Snapchatting or WhatsApping or shopping online during the actual meal.
My wife works for an online retailer, and every single day is Black Friday. I come home and there's 10 boxes. It's amazing. The retail that they buy online, they buy everything. We buy our groceries online.
Right, exactly. And the online retailers are able to offer discounts and deals like some retailers will do like a 2-day 20% off discount, which they did like 2 weeks ago. And so people become...
They have flash sales and quick sales.
It's also easier to differentiate what you want because you can be more precise. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a physical store and they don't have the size that I want. They don't want to have the color that I want. I can be incredibly precise, and I can have recommendations given to me right in front of me.
You get the wish list, which I think everything on my wish list is already sold out on this one retailer.
What's on your wish list?
But I want to get to some new Census Bureau numbers. Show older millennials are still reeling from the recession. This is something kind of Christi was alluding to. Roughly 20% of adults between the ages of 26 and 34 live with their parents or other family members. It's been a decade since the last recession. Christi, your reaction to that?
Well, I'm in the 20% of millennials that still live with their parents. And I think that it's important because it gives us the opportunity to pay off our student loans. And I know for me, I graduated with about $100,000 in debt. And I had an interest rate that was about 7%. So I want to get that paid off as soon as possible. So I'm basically making a mortgage payment, and because I get to live with my parents, I get to do that and pay that off as quickly as possible while saving for a house in the future, so I'm not stuck renting for the rest of my life.
But do you think that'll be, are you saving? Are you able to put away some money to buy a home?
I'm able to put a lot toward my student loans, so I can get that just done in a few years. And then I'm also saving for a down payment that I'm going to put on a house.
Well, Jason, that actually goes to, because home prices are so expensive in
especially in the cities, right?
Right, most parts of the country, that if a young person is going into the market, it's very tough to find anything that resembles a bargain these days.
Yeah. I think what it comes down to is the job market. And a lot of these, if you look at the younger millennials, 18 to 24-year-olds, they were overwhelmingly living with their parents or their relatives. I think it was 60%. I think that's a result of the Obama economy. I think 8 years of sub 3% GDP, a labor participation rate, the lowest level in 40 years. I think these things, entering the job market, that's very tough. How do you buy a home without a job? So I think that's really what it comes down to.
Well, you can't lay the 2008 financial collapse solely on President Obama.
No,
you can lay.
I think the recovery.
It was definitely lacking.
Well, and looking at growth and also how young people view the economy, a lot of them feel that the economy is rigged against them. And I would agree with them in many respects when you're looking at our tax code. So I am very excited about the prospect of tax reform because I think this will help a lot of younger people. We're going to see a lot of younger people able to take on entrepreneurialism because right now our tax code is rigged to help the big boys, to help the big incumbents, and smaller people like millennials, it's harder for us to start a business when the tax code is rigged against us.
Well, it's also rigged to encourage people to buy a home, which might change in terms of the mortgage interest deduction, but also encourage people to have kids and have a bunch of kids with the increase in the child tax credit. So, again, picking favorites, which is a topic for another hour.
Sure. Well, especially because a lot of millennials are putting off having children, in part because of student debt. So I want to see education reform as well, to give millennials the knowledge they don't have to go to college in the traditional four-year sense. I think we've created a two-tiered society where people think, I have to go to college in this way, versus I can go to trade school, I can go to coding schools, I can do a community college, all sorts of alternatives.
I want to get to Bitcoin. Millennials are investing their money in different ways. More millennials are choosing Bitcoin to store their wealth over savings accounts, according to CoinSpectator.com. 65% of millennials in a survey say Bitcoin is safer than banks' savings accounts. Bitcoin is not really a saving vehicle, is it, Christi? Do your friends talk about it at all?
This is something that is the topic of conversation in my house every day.
Really?
We constantly talk about Bitcoin. With the 820% return, how could you not talk about it? It's taking over.
But that's not a store. Something that people are speculating on is not a store of value.
It's not. Look, I can understand real estate. I can understand the stock market. But an asset, it's not an asset. It's not. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's a bubble and it's going to burst.
I could see how it could be a bubble, but I think that we're not anywhere near the bursting point, because people are talking about making it an actual currency. Like Amazon is considering accepting it in the future as payment. So I think it still has a way to go before it actually bursts.
I think we should add this to one of the mistakes of the millennial generation.
I don't think so, though. You look at sovereign countries; they're actually you're looking at what China's doing. Even our government, looking at regulating this in a way or giving it more legitimacy. I think it's something in the future, because honestly, in the real estate, I think a lot of younger people don't have trust in the real estate market, and it's not as accessible as a Bitcoin, which you can get a lower price point than a real estate.
But in real estate
investment.
and in the stock market, it's an asset. You can do things to real estate. You can renovate real estate. You can drive a company's profits up. What are you doing? What is Bitcoin? What do we do with
But with real
Bitcoin?
estate, you don't have control over the broader market as well. I mean, it's similar in that sense.
And futures are going to start trading on the CME shortly, and then even J.P. Morgan with Jamie Dimon talking it down, saying that it's a bubble. They're thinking about starting to trade those have a trading desk.
And I think that a lot of younger
Bitcoin.
people are feeling kind of a lack of trust in our traditional institutions, and so they're open to something else. Yes, and so they're open to something more entrepreneurial. So I think it's a good sign.
I'm with Jason.
50-50
on this. Carrie, Christi, and Jason, it was great to see you all.
Thank you.